remind you that smoking is not allowed inside the Whittemore Center. Now we ask that you please refrain from leaning on or pounding on the glass at ringside. Please refrain from throwing any objects onto the ice as you will be escorted from the arena. Fans are also reminded to stay alert during gameplay. Pucks and other objects from the ice surface and from the stands at any time. The University of New Hampshire and all the teams in Hockey East have joined together to promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and the officials in a positive manner. Give your team a cheer, but remember who else is here. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated, and are grounds for removal from the arena. Thank you for your cooperation, and enjoy tonight's game. Fans, we have a dark blue Jetta parked in the alumni lot. We have no license plate number. Just a description, dark blue Jetta in the alumni lot. Your lights are on. Tonight's Inactive list is brought to you by Wentworth Douglas Express Care. Expert care for life's small emergencies, located in Dover and Lee. Inactive for your Wildcats are number 4, Dylan Mallon, number 12, Shane Iserman, and number 13, Justin Terrone. Buzz driving caused by the use of drugs or a few drinks is a deadly crime. Nearly 12,000 people die each year in America due to impaired driving. These crashes tear families and friends apart. Don't risk killing or injuring yourself or someone else. Please, do not drive if you feel buzzed. The New Hampshire Highway Safety Agency reminds you to use your head and designate a driver.
You don't have to visit the University of New Hampshire to see what we do. You can see it in our state's coastline, in our farms and forests, and our towns and cities. This is where you'll see the things we do that touch the lives of people throughout the state. For 150 years, UNH has been proudly protecting our resources and empowering the state's economy. We are more than a campus. We are the University of New Hampshire, the state's flagship research university.
First, for the Friars. At left wing, number 12, Eric Bowling. At center, number 26, Brian Pinot. At right wing, number 15, Josh Wilkins. On defense, number 18, Jacob Bryson. Also on defense, number 2, Vincent Dave Arden. And in goal, number 31, Eden Hockey. Runners are coached by Nick Neiman, assisted by Scott Moore and Chris Mayer. And now, the starters for your Wildcats! Back in the blue, a freshman from Middletown, New Jersey. Number 7, at center, a freshman from Prince George, British Columbia. Number 26, Leo Locker. At right wing, a freshman from Kinkini, Iowa. Number 20, Andrew Russell. On defense, a senior from Longmont, Colorado. Number 2, your captain, Mateo. Also on the bench, a junior from North Vancouver, British Columbia. Number 6, Cameron Moss. And in goal for your Wildcats, a junior from Trumbull, Connecticut. Number 35, Terrone. Your Wildcats are coached by McNicholas, assisted by Glenn Stewart, Mike Souza, Mike Buckley, and Assistant Athletic Director of Hockey Operations, Colin Shane. The officials for tonight's game, referees are Thomas Farmer and Peter Schlittenhardt. The linesmen are Jeffrey Corporal and Stephen Murray. Now, as we honor America and all the defender, we ask you please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem, performed tonight by the Beast of the East, Pep Band.
right to left here in the opening stanza. They win the face-off back in their own zone. Van Riemsdyk there slaps it right in, a bouncing puck off the paddle of hockey, and they'll work it out to the far side to the defenseman Vincent Terrone. Friars, when they're visiting black uniforms, coming across 3-on-2 along the right side. Foley trying to go around Cleveland, hits the break circle, works it out to Monk left wing. Grasso got a piece of it, whirling and trying to fire from the slot was Pino, but that was blocked down. This is a chance to give you the uniform report, brought to you by Collins Sports Center in Rochester. The official screen printer and embroiderer of your Wildcats, as a slap shot from Wallman is turned aside by Terrone.
Well, the Wildcats in their traditional home whites with blue pants and blue piping, blue helmets. Providence in their road all blacks with white piping and black helmets.
The uniform report brought to you as always by Collins Sports Center in Rochester, official screen printer and embroiderer of your Wildcats. Check out their website, collinsports.net, or call 603-335-1417. Speak with a team sports specialist. Tyler Kelleher comes across the line, right wing, tried to trigger a shot, but McKenzie got a piece of it, deflects off the back wall right in front of the Cat Pack. Great to have them back on campus. The I Believe in UNH chant has just gotten them going. First home game for the students to be at since Maine, the White Out the Wit sellout crowd, and they're excited to get going here as Providence is in town. McKenzie comes in left wing, a wrist shot, save Terrone. Rebound from the backside, trying to sneak in was Conway, and Terrone sealed off that post. 18-20 to go, opening period, no score, already end-to-end action. Friars carry behind the Cat net, but Wise is able to cut off the rushing Bjorkvist, and it's the other way for the Wildcats. Across is Salvaggio left side. His crossing pass has no one to receive, so the Friars will dig it out and break out of the zone along the near boards. Duhaime chips it forward to the Cat end. Nonis gets to it behind the net, then he takes a hit against that back wall. And the puck is lost along the right wing circle. The check was delivered by Vimal Sukumaran, one of the talented freshmen on this Providence team. Dawson goes D to D, works it to Nonis on the far end, and the Wildcats break it out to center ice. Across the red line, Jamie Hill digs one into the right wing corner. Vela along the half wall takes a hit from Bryson, still tries to plug forward as it goes behind the net, and that's where it's picked up by Brian Lemos for the Friars, and they'll flip it out to center. Wildcats control. Cameron Marks near side of the D. Now he finds the captain, Cleveland at center. Stretch pass. Nazarian got a piece just outside the Providence zone to avoid the icing, and the Friars will come out from behind their own net. It's McPhee working up the left side. McPhee into the Wildcat zone before Marks cuts him off, and Marks feeds Chris Miller along the right wing boards. Miller gains the zone, looks to drop back, no one there, so he just dumps it behind the net. Pinching forward, Sacco and Sheffalou. Frankie Sheffalou left half wall, plays it up to Cleveland. He tried to slap one in, but that was blocked down by Shane Cavanaugh. It's loose in the left face-off circle of the Wildcat offensive zone. Sheffalou on the forecheck, runs into the back of Josh Monk, the Providence captain. No score, just 3 minutes, 15 seconds into this one. The Friars look to come up ice. It's Connor McPhee. McPhee gets to the left line and then shovels one high in the air, and it bounces to the far corner. Friars go for a change, and Anthony Wise has some room to move up ice.
Yeah, that was a good shift by the Wildcats' fourth line out against that top defensive pair of Providence, and making Monk and Wallman go back towards their own net for most of that shift.
McKenzie is centering feed, and the Friars come in as a quick wrist shot from the right side that was triggered by Robbie Hennessy, fourth line center. Now a puck played in front looking for Pino was Foley. That was broken up, but the Friars still controlling the Wildcat end along the right wing. It's handled by Wilkins. Wilkins on the half wall, working against Dylan Chanter. Carries to the goal line extended, plays it up the wall. Van Riemsdyk joins the play. Can't clear. It's kept in by McKenzie. He fires it to the far right corner. There's a blind pass out in front by Wilkins as he tried to find Pino charging in, and the connection not made. Brendan Van Riemsdyk clears the red line and then dumps it in. We have some Van Riemsdyk news to share with our fans, as Brendan's brothers will both be here signing autographs before tomorrow night's game. James and Trevor, both on the NHL All-Star break, and tickets are available. Tate, a turnover. Tate from the left circle, shot blocked by Marks. Delayed penalty coming up against the Wildcats. They need to touch up as the Friars have gotten an extra attacker on the ice. Salvaggio gets a piece of it, so we get a stop at 4:29 of the first, scoreless, but the Friars about to embark on a power play.
Wow, for a team that hasn't put up the numbers that the Wildcats have put up, Providence has really come out with a lot of fire in their step, bringing everything forward, getting the defense involved in the offensive action. We've had a couple of bids off on net, looking for the far post on Danny Terrone a couple of times. Wildcats have been a little loose with the puck, trying to clear it out of the zone a couple of times. Providence able to intercept. I think that last one really forced the Wildcats into taking a penalty.
And it's Tyler Kelleher who's in the penalty box now for the Wildcats. Kelleher just 2 assists shy of 100 for his career, but now has to sit and watch. Face off to the left of Terrone. Cats win the draw, and Matthias Cleland sends it out.
Yeah, good one-on-one battle by the captain to win that, fire it down the ice.
All right, so the Friars look to break out. They come to center ice on the power play, and it's wrapped in behind the net by Spencer Young. Comes to the left wing corner. Marks is there along with Wilkins of the Friars. Played up to Bryson, left point. Goes across the way to Young. Young holds for a moment. Works the pass down low. Wilkins near the hash marks of the right circle. Plays it even deeper. Comes back to Wilkins just outside the circle. Left point, Bryson as they work the perimeter. Straight away, Young. Young goes right side. Wilkins fakes a slap shot. Try to pass. Cleland gets a stick on it. Deflects it to the corner. Battle ensues over there. Cleland and Marks for the Wildcats. Salvaggio there as well. UNH desperately looking for the clear. And it does not come out of the zone. Kept in nicely by Young. But he flips it out of play as he tried to put it into the right wing corner. And that brings off a face-off outside the Wildcat line.
Yeah, just as effective there. Salvaggio going down prone on the ice to get a piece of it. Just not enough to get it out, but carelessness by Providence to fire it into the netting, and it'll come out of the zone here. Still about half the penalty to go here to Tyler Kelleher.
Kelleher called for hooking at 4:29. There's 14:30 left, first period, no score. Puck's at center ice, and it's picked up by Van Riemsdyk. Moves in left wing side, tried to switch to his backhand, and got tripped up by Wallman. Tried to return the favor as he extended his leg, but Wallman jumped over the top of it, and the Friars control play, and they'll look to break out. Wallman works the pass to Monk. Monk tried to push to the Wildcat zone right side. Chanter a stick check. Works into the corner, right side of the Wildcat zone. Voley will backhand it to the near side boards. Played in deeper by Monk. Handled by Brian Pino, the alternate captain left hash mark. Down low, Foley back to Pino. At the point, Monk works it to the slot. Extra touch pass comes to the right side, Wilkins. Monk goes to the circle. Here's a wrist shot. Terrone a save. Digging for a rebound, Foley, after the initial shot came from Conway in the right circle. No follow-up yet. Still 10 seconds remaining on this Providence power play. It's Wallman in the high slot. Deals it to Monk, left wing. Back to Wallman for a one-timer. He fans on the bid. It hits off the kick plate, right corner. Foley goes and gets it. Chanter on him. Power play is over. Cats get Kelleher back out of the box, but the Friars still control in the UNH end. Monk from the left point. Tried to squeeze it into the circle. Broken up by Grasso. He leads it to Kelleher, and here comes Tyler Kelleher into the zone. Wrist shot, save, hockey. Into the left wing corner. He takes a hit now, Kelleher does, from Monk. And believe me, it does sound odd to me, too, when I say save hockey. But indeed, the goaltender is Hayden Hockey. First year as a starter for the Friars. No score here, 7 minutes into the first period. Wallman carries across the red line, then dumps in. Marks from behind the goal. Works at far corner, Cleland. Cats look to break out along the left board. Salvaggio, good centering feed to Michael McNicholas. He gains the line left wing before it's taken off his stick by Terrone. On the far boards, it's Ryan Tate. Tate plays it out to center ice. That's where it's grabbed by Brian Lemos. Lemos angles left in the Wildcat zone, then throws a cross-ice pass that hits off the dasher, Terrone. Plays it down deep. There's a blind pass from Bjorkis, broken up at the bottom of the right circle by McNicholas. McNicholas deals it out to Kelleher at center. Kelleher crosses the direct Capital Blue line and then just plays it into the Friar corner right side. Cats went for a change. This gives the Friars some room. Bjorkquist loses it at the red line, and Dawson now in his own zone. Long headman feed. Catches Nazarian left side. Nazarian tries a wrist shot. That goes wide off the far post. Vela chips it in from the right half boards behind the net. Nazarian battling with McKenzie. Tries a wraparound backhand. It's in the crease, but covered up by Hayden Hockey. 11:59 to go in a scoreless first period. UNH and Providence. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield.
Collins Sports Youth Group of the game. Tonight's Collins Sports Youth Group of the game is Dover Youth Hockey. Located in the heart of Rochester, New Hampshire, Collins Sports Center specializes in speed bridging and embroidery and serves as the area's largest provider of team uniforms and equipment. Check them out on their website at collinsports.com.
With Pete Webster at the Whittemore Center, I'm Mike Murphy. 11:35 to go, opening period. New Hampshire nothing, 19th ranked Providence nothing. Friars control in the UNH end. Puck goes along the end boards. Nazarian got tangled up there, so no puck possession. Instead, the Friars maintain. At the right point, Young tried to throw it in, blocked by Dawson into the far corner. It's scooped up in the bottom of the right circle by the Friars. Skating in was Hennessy. Couldn't control for long. Nonis gets to it, and Nonis will flip it out all the way down the ice. And this will be an icing against the Wildcats with 11:10 remaining, opening period.
Wow, every puck being battled for heavily down there in the corner. You want to talk about physicality. Once these teams have gone through a couple of line changes, now they're all in the flow of this game with about 9 minutes played. Things are getting a little tough, fighting for each square inch of ice that they can get and take advantage of.
Face off to the left of Terrone. The draw is won by the Cats as Sacco digs it out. Backhands it to Vela. Vela broken up just outside the Friar zone, over by the penalty box area. Anthony Wise will control, back it up into the Wildcat zone, work it near side Dawson. Diagonal feed to Liam Blackburn. He's broken up at the line by Monk. And the Friars look to come out in transition from our right to our left. Wallman, good stretch pass. Now it's Foley coming in, funneling towards the net left wing. He's broken up by Dawson, who backhands out of the zone. Friars quickly regroup from the red line. The pass finds Wilkins right side. He gains the zone. Tries to turn the corner behind the net. He's taken down, and the Wildcats will go on the shorthand for the second time in this first period as freshman Anthony Wise will sit down for 2 minutes.
Yeah, Anthony had his stick around the player and took his left hand off the stick and kind of put it on the front of his shoulder, and now there was just too much holding going on there. Kind of a marginal call, but 50-50. It's going to go either way, and it does get called on Anthony Wise, and the Cats shorthanded for the second time tonight. Ever improving penalty kill, up about 82% now.
9:29, the time of the penalty. No score here in the opening period. Off the face-off, Friars shoot one wide. Then McNicholas gets to it on the far end and is able to clear it out.
That's Wise for holding.
So Wise was called for holding, and the Wildcats will have to kill off another here in the opening period. Friars, Wilkins had a glance off his stick in the Wildcat zone to the left wing corner. Marks gets to it first, uses the backboards to deal it over to Cleland far end. And Cleland's got some room. He'll put it out at center. Friars quickly regroup. It's Brendan Duhame coming across on the left side. Centering feed intended for Lemos, broken up into the near corner. Played there by Lemos, works it to the point. There's a slap shot from Bryson. That got blocked into the low slot, bouncing puck. Held in, left side by Lemos. He curls towards the circle, moves in forehand, plays it in front. Duhame, who fanned on a bid. Terrone was out of position. No follow-up shot. Lemos has it, bottom of the right circle. Lemos turns the corner, looking to play it in front on a deflection. It hits off the skate of Marks. It's still loose, swatted around. And finally, Duhame has it. Left wing, plays it to the top. Here's Bryson, a slapper. Terrone, a save. It's on the stick of Salvaggio in transition. The Wildcats shorthanded 2-on-2. Salvaggio with Kelleher. Kelleher in the right wing boards, wraps it behind the net. Salvaggio got tripped. Fans want a call. They're not going to get it. Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Came from behind the play. So the first penalty of the game against Providence will negate their men advantage.
Yeah, and the head coach Ned Lehman is looking at the forward ref who was looking right at the play and didn't call it. He's wondering why did he call it out at center ice. I think it was an interference there. I don't know what they called interference or tripping, but that's a good call to even it up here for the next 41 seconds.
It was the back referee, Peter Schlittenhart, who made the call after Thomas Fire did not. And so we're 4-on-4 for about the next 41 seconds. Face off in the Providence zone to the right of hockey. Nazarian taking the draw against Pino. Works it behind the net. That's where McKenzie has it for the Friars, and he'll reverse direction. Wait for the Cats to peel off a bit. He works it to the right side D, and now Josh Monk comes up ice. Monk gives into the zone to Pino along the right wing boards. Deep, it's Monk against Dawson. Nice work by Dawson to just take it away. And the Wildcat sophomore defenseman comes up ice. Leaves it left side. Nazarian, he fires one in. Stop made by Hockey. Goes to the left wing corner. Nazarian along the boards. Era works to the point, then plays it deeper for Vela. Goal line extended left. Takes a check from McKenzie. Puck is just sitting there along the boards, waiting for someone to dig it out. Penalty has elapsed against Wise. So the Wildcats now on a Unitil power play. Unitil energy for life. No score. 8:20 left in this first period, but the first time the Wildcats have had the man advantage. Vela moves it to Cleland, left point. He'll flip it to Kelleher, who gloves it down along the left wing boards. Kelleher waits for an extra skater. That's Grasso to join the play. Kelleher left wing to Cleland at the center point. Kelleher left side, across the way, McNicholas right faceoff circle. Holds, tries to go back across the way, but Foley stole it. Cleland takes it right back in the zone. Kelleher, left circle. Kelleher moves to the slot, still skating to the right side. Kelleher reverses direction, being chased by Monk. into the mid-slot. Backhand got redirected in front of the net. McKenzie was there for the Friars to steer it clear. Grasso near the left hash marks. Kelleher along the boards. Down low, Grasso across the way. McNicholas, he couldn't handle the pass, had to kick it, try to settle the loose puck down. Does not get a shot off. Instead, Salvaggio to Cleland. Now it's Kelleher above the left face-off circle. Kelleher to the slot. His shot blocked by Monk to the near side. The Friars need the clear. They get the clear on the near side along the left boards by Eric Foley.
A lot of exciting possession there for the Wildcats. Some decent puck movement, but not able to generate that good grade A bid on hockey.
Down to 5 seconds remaining on the power play. Into the zone is Salvaggio left side, and that will do it. Spencer Young jumps out of the box, and Spencer Young has the puck in his stick as he came out of the penalty box. He pushes it the Wildcat zone, but Cleland gets back before Hennessy can. And the Cats clear it down, icing the call. 6:58 to go in the first. No score. UNH and Providence. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield.
Thanks, John. Tonight's lucky row of the game is row K in section 103. The Cat row has awarded gift certificates to each man in the row, courtesy of Domino's Pizza of Durham. Order now for a fresh hot pizza after the game.
.6:35 to go, first period, no score. The Wildcats looking to break through. Chanter, a lead pass to Sheffield coming into the Providence zone, but it bounces off his stick, ends up under the glove of Hayden Hockey, and we get a stoppage of play. 6:34 remaining first period. It's UNH nothing, Providence nothing. You're listening to Wildcat hockey from Learfield.
Providence by score 3-1 in the Hockey East semifinals and advance to the championship game. Visit warmup.propane.com to learn how so
Ice
many
cleaning.
people are converting their oil heating systems to propane with Eastern Propane and Oil.
Got Reed ready?
Yep.
Nice. To the video board for tonight's special group welcome.
Yeah, if you didn't go to commercial, I had a short one. I think I owe State Farm an extra one. Fans, the Buyers Beware campaign from the New Hampshire Division of Liquor Enforcement wants to remind you that keeping alcohol out of young people's hands is every adult's responsibility. New Hampshire retailers work hard at checking IDs, but can't stop underage drinking by themselves. If you're approached to buy alcohol for a minor, say no. Stay on the right path. Protect New Hampshire's youth by keeping them alcohol-free. Visit thewrongpath.org for more information.
Tomorrow night, UNH and Providence play again here at the Whittemore Center at 7 o'clock. But get here early because a rare treat as both James Van Riemsdyk and Trevor Van Riemsdyk will be signing autographs for free from 6:15 to 6:45 on the concourse. Also tomorrow, the first 1,500 fans will get a nice winter hat, one of those palm hats with a nice little palm on top of it, the I Believe in UNH winter hat. And it's shirt off your back night. The Wildcat warm-up jerseys will be auctioned off during the game, and we'll find out who gets those after. All that going tomorrow night, 7 o'clock game. Tickets available at UNHWildcats.com. Here it's no score, 6:25 to go, opening period. The Friars and the Wildcats. Tate comes into the zone looking to center. Blocked by Wise along the right wing, and then backhanded deeper by the Friars. Conway into the corner. Conway gets to it behind the net. He's sealed off by Blackburn, but he plays it out in front near the far post. Terrone has his leg extended to make sure they can't sneak it in there. It comes back to the right point, McKenzie. It's played in, and a kick save by Terrone on the quick shot from the right point from Desharnais. Friars now controlling their own end. Bryson goes defense to defense. Right side is controlled by Desharnais. Diagonal pass Lemos. Leaves for Duhaime. Duhaime left wing, looking to go around Chanter, but Chanter stares them off the play. And it comes to Wise. Wise controls left side. Lemos backpedaling, slipped and lost an edge. And that allowed Wise to complete a pass behind his own net to Chanter. Chanter waiting for some Wildcats to get into position. Now he begins to work up the left side. Uses the dasher to get it to Wise. Wise works it across the way, but no one's there. It's turned over. Lemos centering pass to the streaking Suka Moran, but he could not get a shot off as he was going right in on Terrone. Nazarian to Wise. Wise to Jamie Hill left side, and Hill will dump it in. Bella gets to it first behind the Providence net. Still handles along the right half wall. Looking to play it in deeper. But it's sealed off by Duhaime, and Duhaime will just laser one out to center ice. Marks will retreat. Left side of the Wildcat defense get to it. Lead pass Nazarian. Gains the line. but he's broken up just as he came across. Taken by Hill. Hill works it down in the slot to Vela. Now it's Cleland from the left point, who played it diagonally right into the right wing corner through traffic. And the ricochet brings it out to center ice. 4:45 to play. Opening period still scoreless.
Now, the Wildcats doing a good job of thwarting the Providence breakout and regaining the puck out at center ice his last couple of shifts.
Cleland, the pass to Miller. Miller will just tap it forward. Sheffalou into the zone, left goal line extended in the corner. Miller plays it deep and tries to work it up the wall, but that's where the Friars get to it, and it's worked out to center ice by Kavanaugh. Wise in front of his own bench, stands up Hennessy. Joining the play Kavanaugh, but he skated in and would be offside, so he has to back off. Sacco instead gets to it for the Wildcats. Wise returns the favor to Sacco along the left wing board. Sacco across the line, trying to get by Desharnais in the corner. Stolen away by Jacob Bryson. Bryson goes near side Foley, looking for the headman pass for Wilkins, skips over his stick, and that'll be an icing call against the Friars with 3:58 to go in the scoreless first period.
UNH Athletics would like to thank State Farm Insurance agents Renee Leclerc and Tony Leclerc for their continued support. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Boy, there is an awful lot of high energy going on. Loose pucks, teams, both guys battling for it, 4 guys out there. There's an awful lot of energy being created and used just in battling for these loose pucks.
A big weekend. The Friars are ahead of the Wildcats in the national rankings, number 19 in the country, but 5 points behind UNH in the Hockey East standings. Wildcats coming in tied for 5th and the Friars in 8th. Home ice goes to the top 8 teams, in fact top 4 in the first round bye. A lot of hockey to be played between now and then. 3:35 to go, first period. McNicholas takes it away at center ice. McNicholas trying to work in, but he got wrapped up by Bryson before he could break in on hockey. Along the far side, Wilkins brings to center ice and backhands one to the Wildcat end, but there's Marks all by his lonesome. Cam Marks works to the right side, then goes across to Cleland. Matthias will flip one in the air that forces hockey to come out of his crease and push it to the far corner. Friars trying to come out of their zone. Providence has a 3-on-2 developing. Wilkins comes across. Pass to Foley left wing. Foley tried a shot from the left circle, but Chanter got a stick on it. It goes wide behind the net. Karam's off to Salvaggio. Salvaggio breaks into the Providence zone left side before Monk breaks the play up and works it to the near boards. Held by Foley. No breakout pass, so instead Pinot will skate out. Pinot, though, end of his shift, just dumps into the near corner. That allows Chanter to get to it. Chanter uses the back wall to get to Wise. Blackburn to Van Riemsdyk, looking for the return pass. It's intercepted, and the other way come the Friars. Moving in is Tate. Tate tried a wrist shot left side. Chanter gets in the way. Tate gets it back left corner. Tate skates right out in front of Terrone. Wise able to get to him before he could send a shot off. Comes to the right side to Spencer Young. He goes across to the near wall left. McKenzie dumps it to the corner. Down to 2:20 to play and counting first period, no score. Puck pinned against the boards to Terrone's right. Comes off to McKenzie at the goal line extended. McKenzie skates behind the goal line right side. He avoids a hit as Chanter went crashing hard into the boards. He's okay, gets back up. Wise trying to slow down McKenzie along the right wing wall. Van Riemsdyk in the back check trying to get the puck out as well. It comes into the right circle but couldn't be handled cleanly, so it's Grasso at center ice. Ahead Van Riemsdyk. Brendan Van Riemsdyk into the zone right side. He tries to throw one through. Hits off of Blackburn. Joining the play, Cleland. Sharp angle shot goes wide. And the Karam out to the right point, Marks. Marks drops it to Van Riemsdyk, right half boards. Into the corner, Grasso. Chips it back to Van Riemsdyk. At the point, Marks. Marks tried to throw through traffic. Blocked by Bjorkus. Comes to Cleland. He plays it in front. Grasso looking for a redirect. The goaltender was down. Hockey lost his stick, but the puck comes out to the right side. Marks to Cleland, left point. He risks one, redirected by Nazarian, but tipped wide. And the Friars control, and they dodge a bullet there. 1:15 to go in the first. In transition the other way. Here's Conway. A shot and a glove save from Terrone as Conway was aiming for the upper right corner glove side, and Terrone's reflexes were in full effect.
Yeah, Conway tied for the team lead with 9 points this year. He's just a sophomore out of Basingstoke, England. How many English players do we see in college hockey? But there's one right there with a heavy shot on the forehand, but a good glove save by Terrone.
Face off to Terrone's right. Friars win it back to the point. Desharnais. They'll backhand it. Left wing, Lemos. Lemos starts to move in. He throws it a slap shot. Save. Terrone might have been going wide to the near side. Final minute of the period. Desharnais, one-timer. Blocked in front by Dawson. Redirects to Hill. Hill chips it to center. That's where Vela gets to it. Vela will play it into the Providence zone. He can't work around the Bryson check. Behind the net, the Friars with the breakout as Desharnais lifts it to center. Dawson claims it at the Wildcat blue line, works it far side to Cleveland. 40 seconds left in the scoreless first. McNicholas, touch pass to the rushing Dawson. Or make it Nazarian, quick wrister, easily turned aside by Hockey into the far corner. Friars looking for the transition opportunity. Here's McPhee working right side. Leaves it on the side to Wilkins. His shot, that got tipped behind the net. McPhee going behind the net. Now it's played out in front where they had Hennessy stationed. Getting in between him and the puck was Salvaggio, though, and the Cats able to break it up and get to center ice. 10 seconds to go in the period. One last bid, perhaps, for the Friars. McPhee and Hennessy come in. McPhee works it across the side. Here's a slap shot, stick save, Terrone, as he's able to deny Wallman with 3.4 seconds left in the period. Puck goes out of play.
Wow, this has been one of those lightning fast periods. It's taken us about 25 minutes to play 20 minutes of hockey action. Just not a lot of breaks as we go up and down. Nail-biting action here at not a lot of open ice. I'm really impressed with Providence and how they're not allowing the Wildcat skaters to break around the defense on the left wing side. Every attempt by UNH to go around the defense on the left wing side has been thwarted with a pinch off or a check along the boards.
Face off to Terrone's left, comes out to the point. Here's a one-timer at the horn and a score! The last second of the first period, top of the left circle, and a blistering slap shot from Captain Josh Monk. The Friars have a 1-0 lead with 3-0 showing on the clock.
Well, it went in the net, but they're going to take a look at the video replay of this. They got to pair it up with the time. It went in definitely, but it was right at the buzzer. The clock says 0.0, and in my book, that's 0. So if it is a goal, they do have to take a face-off because there has to be a tenth of a second left at least. So they're gonna take a look at it.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout then and come back and tell you what happened. Wildcats hockey from Learfield.
Yeah, Providence can't go anywhere yet. That was just so close.
Ready for a live set update?
Yeah. It's a goal. Sweet.
The video review has been compiled, and the determination is good goal. So Providence has a 1-0 lead, and as Pete pointed out right before we stepped away, that means the teams that wanted to skid off the ice have to take a face-off.
2/10 of a second from that overhead replay. 2/10 of a second, and it went in.
But they put 9/10 back on the clock for the face-off at center ice. So winning the face-off right at the end of the first period pays dividends for the Friars as Monk went top shelf above the left shoulder of Danny Terrone. And the defenseman for the Friars has his second goal of the year, only the fourth of his career. And after one, it's the Friars 1 and the Wildcats 0. When we come back, we'll have our Bud Light intermission show. Bud Light, a proud partner of UNH Hockey, reminding all fans enjoy the game and drink responsibly. 1-0 Friars after a period. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield.
Shots on the goal is Providence College for the 11-year Wildcats with 8 to score after 1 period of play. Providence College 1, your Wildcats 0. Now, fans, please welcome to the ice the Dover Stars Youth Hockey Height Development Team. to play. 1 minute. Let's hear it one more time for your Dover Star! Time to announce tonight's Magic seed of the game. Let's go out to Kelsey and find out just who that player is. Kelsey, who are you with?
Thanks, John. I'm over here with Gavin and Parker, tonight's Cinemagic Magic seed of the game winners. McNicholas has awarded them 2 free movie passes to Cinemagic Stadium Theater. And thank you, Cinemagic Stadium Theaters, for their continued support of UNH Athletics. Congratulations, guys.
Okay, fans, it's now time for Shuffle Puck, presented by GM Bouchard. Here's our 3 pucks. Let's put our Wildcat in behind one of our 3 pucks. All right, you know where he is now. Keep an eye on those pucks. We're going to shuffle those pucks up really good here. You follow those pucks, we're going to find out just how well you can follow them. Still following the puck. Which one is the cat head under? And we're going to chance to find out what you know. Who thinks it's under puck number 1? Who thinks it's behind puck number 2? Who thinks it's behind puck number 3? All right, the predominant favorite is 2. Let's find out if you're right. Of course you are. You always get it right, it seems. This was again sponsored by DF Richard in Dover, New Hampshire. They've been serving the seacoast since 1932. DF Richard is the local provider for all your energy needs. Fans, now it's time to smile with the camera as it's Northeast Delta Dental Smile Cam time. Smile.
Wildcat Fund is the fundraising arm of UNH Athletics. Our mission is to provide monetary support to UNH Athletics to enhance the student-athlete experience. Your support will allow the Wildcats to build themselves into champions in the classroom, in the community, and in competition.
And the scholarship was presented to me, I honestly cried thinking about it. Like, I would not be able to be here if it was not for that for me.
I have some of the best friends you guys would have had the opportunity to meet these people and become so close to them if I didn't have this scholarship.
The best part of giving to the Wildcat Fund is you can choose where to make your gift. Whether your passion is a specific sport or offsetting scholarship costs, your gift directly impacts the experience of UNH student athletes.
You know, Coach said one time, he said, "I'll show you what Coach came for," and you know, they're giving back to us. And he said, "I'm going to show you, you know, the scholarship that we had." And where you don't need to.
Support UNH Athletics by visiting UNHWildcats.com/development.
Major time for the direct capital campaign here. Let's go up to Kelsey in the student section.
Thanks, John. Over here with the cat pack in the student section, the loudest section of the Whitmore Center, and I want to hear you make some noise.
Going to be okay at the end of 60 minutes.
Well, fresh sheet of ice has been cleaned. Puck has been dropped, and the second period underway with the Wildcats operating from right to left. That freshman line, which started the game, also starts the second period for the Wildcats. Van Riemsdyk, Blackburn, and Grasso. Puck in the right faceoff circle, turned over. Van Riemsdyk a steal. Van Riemsdyk going for the top shelf, but he sailed it high as he broke in from the left circle. Good early opportunity that does not come to fruition. The other way. Centering pass from Foley, looking for Pinot, broken up in the mid-slot. Foley reclaims at the right point, skates up along the boards. Backhand pass, top of the right circle, Pinot. He curls around into the middle. Grasso, quick stick check to steal it. Gives it over to Blackburn, and he'll work it to Cam Marks. Puck just outside the Wildcat zone. Bjorkquist gets to it. Bjorkquist into the Wildcat end. Forehand shot, tried to go high. Terrone, backhand glove save. He'll hold on for a face-off 49 seconds into the second.
Yeah, great bid right off the start for Brendan Van Riemsdyk. Boy, that was eerily similar to the setup BVR had for himself last Friday night in overtime against Notre Dame. That exciting conclusion to that tie on Friday night. Brendan had a chance to go upper 90s on the far side, and he just missed it just like he did here tonight.
Off the face-off. Here's a slap shot from Wallman just inside the line. That one clangs off the glass. Bjorkquist works it left wing corner. Tate curls back towards the middle. Sharp angle shot. Terrone had a screen in front of him, but he's able to make the stop as Conway was coming right through his line of vision. Wildcats control from right to left. Kelleher gains the line, but then got broken up by Monk. And that gives Tate possession for Providence. Tate skates right across the Wildcat line right wing. Tried to go far corner, but he was too close to the crease, so Terrone snares it. And we'll get another face-off with 18:39 remaining in the second period. 1-0 Friars.
Yeah, that shot was going to go way wide. And actually, boy, if Terrone had let that go, it rings around the corner and starts coming out the other side. And Tyler Kelleher, who had been spilled on that rush down at the other end, was just getting back into the play. He might have had a lot of open ice over there.
Face off to Terrone's left. Lemos against Nazarian. Gets pushed against the kick plate behind Terrone. McNicholas will get there for the Wildcats and work it to Dawson. Dawson plays it far side. Vela out of the zone comes Nazarian with some velocity. Nazarian across right wing. Wraps it behind the net, chases it down. Left goal line extended. Pounds the brakes. Along the left half boards, there's a scrum for the loose puck. It squirts out to the point. Nonas chips it forward. Lemos had it for an instant, and now it's McKenzie for the Friars, who works it out of the zone. Comes back in, glances off of McKenzie's skate, and it's taken away by Lemos. Left side of the Providence defensive end. Plays it deeper for McKenzie. Near side, it's Young. Young along the boards, ahead, and coming into the zone is Sukumaran. Sukumaran, backhand feed to the mid slot, intercepted by the back-checking Nazarian. Aaron Nazarian works up, long diagonal feed. That gets to Marks. Marks plays it in the near corner left. Vela tried to chip it forward, but Desharnais broke him up, and it's out with Lemos. Lemos centering pass to Brendan Duhame. He comes in, forehand shot. Terrone save, rebound, backhanded wide by the on-rushing Kavanaugh. Along the left boards, it's Nazarian. Still in the Wildcat zone. He'll play it deeper to Marks. 17:25 to go, second period, 1-0 Providence. A goal right at the final horn of the first period. That was ruled a good goal after video review. Desharnais behind his own net. Miller gives chase on the forecheck. It's Bryson, right side of the Providence D. Smacks it off the glass and moves it to center ice. Kavanaugh comes in right wing side, but Cleland steals it away. Now it's ahead. Right side Miller. He lost the edge as he came into the zone. Joining the play from the left side was Sheffalou. Sheffalou has to veer towards the boards. Takes a check from Hennessy, but maintains possession. On the cycle, it's Miller, left corner. Works it to the point, Cleland. Straight away, Chanter tries to throw it through traffic. Redirected wide by Sacco to the right wing boards. Sheffalou works it back to Chanter. Chanter throws one on net. Stick save made by Hockey. Along the left side, Frankie Sheffalou. Puck skipped up near the glass. Again, it bounds high in the air along the left point. Cleland tried to glove it forward, but the Friars, working hard, come out of the zone with it and flip it to the Wildcat end. Chanter looking for the headman feed. He was trying to get Van Riemsdyk just off the bench. Grasso gets to it, right wing side. Grasso works around the defenseman, goes behind the net where he's cut off by McKenzie. Puck loose, right wing boards. Van Riemsdyk gets there first to Chanter at the point. Van Riemsdyk at the wall. Grasso tries the one-time bid, couldn't get a clean shot at it from the right circle, and the Friars will play it out.
That's a good setup by the freshman line. Brendan Van Riemsdyk looking for that pass right in the mid slot.
Blackburn pushing forward to the left wing corner, works against Wallman. Puck is loose in the near corner. Wildcats aggressive on the forecheck, trying to take possession out with those freshmen. Van Riemsdyk left circle, turns, forehand shot, and a save made as it came out of the left corner right to the top of the circle, and Van Riemsdyk was ready.
And that time, Brendan wanted to make sure he got it on net. So he ended up putting it into the bread basket, but good work in the corner, good work at all the zones there by the freshman line. Now they're getting a real taste of what it's like playing all these top-ranked teams, all these ranked teams here going down the stretch. Last weekend, Notre Dame, now Providence College.
Kelleher got plastered against the boards on a pretty scary hit from Desharnais. He had lost his balance just as he was hit. He's right back up and joins the play in the Providence zone, but the Friars looking for a breakout. It's Casper Bjorkquist working in the left wing corner. Bjorkquist tripped up as he goes behind the goal line. No call, as it was Marks who might have gotten away with one. McNicholas and Salvaggio come in just about side by side across left wing side. Salvaggio's pass to Kelleher, down low in the right wing. Had it taken away by Bryson. 15:05 and counting, second period, 1-0 in favor of the 19th ranked Friars. Kelleher in the right corner, breaks free of a Bryson hit. Up the wall, McNicholas. At the point, Marks. Deals it near side. Cleland plays it out across the way. He was looking for Kelleher. Kelleher taken down, and there's a penalty coming up against the Friars. They need to touch it, though. Terrone gets to the bench. And joining the play as an extra attacker is Aaron Nazarian. McNicholas and Salvaggio in the Wildcat zone. They're 6-on-5. It's Cleland coming into the zone, right wing side across from McNicholas. He can't control the pass. It was a bouncing puck, and the Friars touch up. 14:33 to go in the second. Power play coming up. It's Providence 1, UNH nothing. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield.
Kelleher got banged up on that play. We were possessing the puck here, getting the extra eye on. He wanted to skate off.
The Wildcats are on a Unitil power play, Unitil energy for life, but the Friars are the ones who come out of the Wildcat zone with Pino getting all the way to the Wildcat line, joined by McPhee. Wildcats break that bid up, but the Friars possess at their own line as Monk goes to Pino. Pino flips a bouncing puck on Terrone, knuckleballer that he had to play in a hop. He leaves it behind the net for Blackburn. In the penalty box as Jacob Bryson called for interference at 5:27. We'll see if the Wildcats can net the equalizer on this power play, although they come into the Providence zone only to see the Friars send it down the length of the ice. It's Blackburn on the breakout from his own zone. Leaves it back for Tyler Kelleher, who was banged up on that penalty by Bryson. Kelleher crosses into the zone, right wing side. Still stick possesses, tries to break out in front, but that's where it's taken away by Kavanaugh, and he'll send it out.
Now the Wildcats were still trying to get their first unit out as Tyler made his scurry into the Providence end. So when he thought somebody would be out there on the left side, no one was there.
McNicholas gets to the Providence line, but can't control inside the Friar zone. Puck into the near corner. Wildcats are 0 for 1 on the Unitil power play. The previous one was a shortened one, but this one is not going their way as the Friars clear it down again with only 30 seconds left on the Bryson penalty. 7 minutes into the second period. Grasso just inside the line will wrap it around right to left. Salvaggio chips it to McNicholas behind the net looking for Grasso. Overskates the puck and it's turned over. Breakout pass finds Pino. Pino one-on-one against Cleland. A forehand shot goes wide off the far post. Brian Pino nearly with a short-hander. All the way McNicholas. Michael McNicholas across the line right wing. Now veers towards the middle. Pass goes laterally across the line and comes out of the zone as the final seconds tick off on the Bryson penalty. We're back to 5-on-5. Cleland carries across, tries to flip to the right wing corner. On-rushing is Chris Miller along the wing with Sheffalou. Behind the net, Desharnais. His fourth line with Sacco joining Miller and Sheffalou unable to capitalize. Instead, we go the other way. Bryson carries across right wing, dumps in the corner for Conway. Conway plays it behind the Wildcat net. That's where Dawson gets to it. Nonis looking for the breakout pass to Miller. Just chip it into the Friar zone. And Providence regroups in its own end. Kyle McKenzie, alternate captain. Pass along the near side right, Eric Foley. Foley whips it to the right wing corner. The Karam goes to the left side and Foley gets to it. Goal line extended. He curls into the circle, working against a Dawson check. He backhands one into the crease. Save made. Drucy rebound left. Foley nearly got to it. He does and possesses it back to the point. Young from the right side. That was tipped off line by Lemos. Lemos along the right boards, trying to skate around Nonis as he goes behind the net. Leaves it for Wilkins. Wilkins turns the corner left. Skates all the way to the wing. Reverses direction to the hash mark. Sharp angle shot blocked by Dawson, who got a stick on it. And it carries out of the zone all the way to the Friar end. Young gets to it there. Vela chasing on the forecheck. Young skips by him, and then Spencer Young sends it down behind the Wildcat net. Terrone plays it along. All the way back to center. 11 minutes to go, second period. 1-0 Wildcats trail thanks to Monk's goal at the final second of the first period. Nazarian gets stuck against the wall by Hennessy behind his own goal line to the left of Terrone. Duhaime takes the puck. Duhaime plays to the circle. Hennessy's quick wrister blocked away by Nonis. Behind the line, it's Hennessy, a backhand feed in front. Vela the steal. Vela long pass too high for Hill to handle. He'll just chip it forward. Finds Nazarian coming in left wing, but Nazarian can't get by Bryson. The other way come the Friars to our right. Duhaime turns on his forehand. Wise blocks it. The rebound trickles down to the bottom of the circle right side. That's where it's handled by Duhaime. Tried to backhand up the wall. Cleland pinched in though. Takes it away, works it across the way for Vela, and then it's slapped right back into the Cat zone by Wallman.
Well, it's almost a mirror image of that last period when the Wildcats were stopping Providence's transition, and now UNH is having their transition stopped.
Grasso enters the zone left wing side, looking for Cleland out high. Instead plays it down deep. Blackburn behind the net, tracked by Wallman. Can't break free. It's a bouncing puck. Hockey looks over his left shoulder. And now it comes out in front. Cleland has it in the mid slot, works at right point marks. Deals it back to Cleland, throws it in front. That got blocked by Desharnais. It's out in front. Van Riemsdyk was over there, as was Grasso. Neither one could get a clean handle on it. Cleland does, tries a forehand bid. That's blocked from the left circle. And that was blocked by Conway. Van Riemsdyk, left side, tries a sharp angle shot down low, and that's blocked and covered up by Hayden Hockey. 9:34 to go here in the second. Providence holding on to a 1-0 lead. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey from Learfield.
Is this 1 or 2? 3? Sorry. Pass game.
Got to read?
I certainly do.
Yes, you do.
Service Credit Union serves the UNH community. Visit our deposit-taking ATMs at the WIT, in the Fieldhouse, and at the new Wildcat Stadium branch. Learn how you can become a member at servicecu.org.
Time now for a live stat update brought to you by UNH Analytics.
Well, let's give the stat of 18-10 is the shot differential going Providence's way so far, just past the midway point of this game. 18-10 Providence in shots.
Live stat update brought to you by UNH Analytics. In just 11 months, you can earn a Master's of Science degree in Analytics at UNH. Their highly innovative program uses real-world data from actual companies. Choose from specializations in business, healthcare, public policy, or sports analytics. Apply now and prepare yourself for one of the world's most in-demand careers. Find out more at unh.edu/analytics. Mike Murphy, Pete Webster here at the Whittemore Center. Aaron Voss at our flagship WGIR. Off a face-off in the Providence zone. Cleland fired a slap shot that got redirected out of play. So another face-off upcoming here on our left with 9:29 to go in the second. It's the Friars of Providence College 1 and the Wildcats nothing.
UNH looking for their first goal since the Friday game. They were shut out Saturday and weren't able to score in the first period here tonight.
3-on-2 developing. Pinto works it left side. Foley backhand bid from the slot. Terrone, a terrific save right around the belly area. Foley was angling to his right. The quick backhand shot, and Danny Terrone does not let up a rebound.
Yeah, hard to read off the backhand. It was a good one. You know, not didn't make Danny move too much, but you can't give any ground on that because you just don't know where, and you don't have the reaction time to make that save.
This face-off is to Terrone's left, and a quick shot from the bottom of the right circle by Kavanaugh. Save made. Kavanaugh wraps around shot. Save again. Puck loose in the crease. Kicked away by Terrone. It's bouncing around again in the slot. Cats have to get it out of there. Terrone sliding down, and it finally comes out to Salvaggio. Oh, Wildcats dodge a bullet. Salvaggio gains the line right wing side. Crowd gets into it now thanks to that defensive flurry by Danny Terrone. The UNH chant begins, but here comes Kavanaugh along the near side boards. Kavanaugh entered the Wildcat zone, stops in the circle, he whirls, tried to fire, fanned on it. Wise gets to it, chips it to center. Here comes Kelleher. Kelleher into the zone, right wing side, stops along the boards, got sandwiched by a couple of Friars, and this allows Lemos to come away with it. Brian Lemos at center. Pass left side to Young. Young got cut off by Chanter. Vela, cross-ice pass looking for Jamie Hill, couldn't stretch far enough. And it's Sukumaran who works it behind his own net. Along the far wall, Chanter will get to it. Chanter throws it in front. Kick save by Hockey. And it works near side. Friars in transition. Centering pass for Lemos. Stick check by Wise. Gets it back in the Wildcat zone before he bursts a tire. Chanter gets to it. Dylan Chanter. Long pass behind Nazarian. And this will go as an icing with 8:01 remaining in the second period. 1-0 Friars.
Now we bring the face-off back in the UNH zone, and here this way you really have to win your face-offs. You either have to tie it up, you have to win it cleanly. Cost the Wildcats at the end of the first period with that late face-off in the Wildcat end. Long way to go here in the second period, and still just a 1-0 Providence lead.
And they scored off a face-off, so you have to be careful. They win the face-off here. McKenzie right point, but the puck was bouncing, couldn't settle it down. Has to wrap it behind the net. Over battling for it is Bjorkquist. Also Ryan Tate. Tate backhands it left circle. Bjorkquist a wrist shot. And that one couldn't get through. Right wing corner, it's Kyle McKenzie. McKenzie going up the wall, but Anthony Wise wraps him up. Vela's there as well in the back check from Tate. Vela uses the end wall, working to the far side. Jamie Hill delivers a hit on Kavanaugh. Conway, though, holds it in left point. Throws it in front. Redirected there as Terrone had some screens in front of him, and it bounces to the far side. Handled in the slot before Nazarian just took it away from Conway. Works it to Vela at center. Vela gains the line left wing. Marcus goes all the way behind the Friar goal line. Overskates the puck and takes a hit from Bryson. Bryson's the one who goes down, but the puck is on Conway's stick with 7:05 to play in the middle period. Conway, left wing, into the Wildcat zone. Wrist shot wide Off the near post, Karams to center ice, carries all the way to Blackburn. It's 2-on-1. Blackburn left side, he shoots, save made. Van Riemsdyk chops at the rebound. The whistle blew, the puck goes wide, and we'll get a face-off. The quick whistle denies the Cats a chance to follow up.
Terribly quick whistle. The puck was never tied up. And the referee, I don't know, he just lost sight of it. I don't know how. I see his angle in the replay. Not sure how, but that call goes against the Wildcats. Well, boy, that 4-on-2 rush and a wide shot by Providence turned out to be a 2-on-1 for the Wildcats with a whole lot of space for Liam Blackburn.
Blackburn tries to win the face-off here on the left side of the offensive zone. And Pino has been told to step aside, and Wilkins will take the face-off for Providence. Wilkins wins it back to the near corner, and that's where Desharnais plays it up the near boards by Cleland. Marks will have to hustle back in front of Pino's rush. Foley along the half board, try to chip it forward. Instead, it's Miller. Centers it to Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk across the line, left side. They work it into the corner behind the goal line. Blackburn. Grasso's over there as well, trying to get to it. Friars just a step too quick. Wilkins leaves it for Desharnais at center ice. And the defenseman from Quebec works into the Wildcat zone. Left wing goes around Marks. Carries it all the way to the backboards. Cleland cuts him off, and he and Marks will team up to help the Wildcats clear it. Long diagonal pass, Grasso. Centers it to Blackburn. Back to Grasso. Forehand bid right side. Blocked by McKenzie. Down to 6:05 to play second period. 1-0 Providence still. This Whittemore Center crowd, which has developed nicely, looking for a reason to explode, but the Cats haven't gotten on the board yet. The other way comes Spencer Young. Young goes around the net from left to right, plays it to the point. McPhee, he throws one that gets deflected by McNicholas. Now Kelleher has it at center. Kelleher racing across the line right side. Gives to Salvaggio in the circle. He curls towards the middle, plays it to Kelleher mid-slot. Kelleher has two players around him, so he loses control of it. Nonis got to it just outside the zone, and all he could do was play it to the Providence end.
Yeah, every time the Wildcats look for Tyler Kelleher, there's 1-2 guys barreling down on him. No space for him offensively tonight.
Nonis works it to the far boards to Matt Dawson. Dawson skates out of his own end, using the far dasher near his own bench to get to Kelleher. Kelleher comes across right wing side. It's cut off by Wallman. Puck ends up in the corner, and that's where it's grabbed by Monk. Monk has the game's only goal. Long outlet pass, Sukumarian. Sukumarian shot from the right board. Save made. Terrone kicked out with the right pad. Can't be kept in by Monk. He'll have to go get it at the red line in front of his own bench. Plays it in. Terrone comes out of the crease to slow it down behind his own net for Chanter. Near side D. Wise works it back to Chanter. And the outlet finds Sheffalou. Frankie Sheffalou pushed to the boards by Bryson along the right side. Gives chase, though, along the end wall. He and Sacco crisscross. Sheffalou gets to it in the circle. Plays it back to Miller. Wrist shot got tipped by a Providence player into the crease. It was Conway got a stick on it, just did enough to make sure it didn't get to hockey. In transition, Tate. Tate comes out of his own end. Straight up the middle. Into the Wildcat zone. Right side. Shot blocked by Wise. Conway along the left boards takes a hit from Chanter. Conway lost the edge. Chanter takes the puck. Nice job by the junior blue liner Dylan Chanter. Works left side, uses the glass to clear it to Sacco at center. Karams into the Providence zone, and Young will go far side. And the Friars come out. The pass for Tate, couldn't handle it at the UNH line. Chipped forward by Wise. Vela couldn't handle. Here comes Pino, 2-on-1. Pino moves in right-hand side. Forehand bid, he fanned on it. He was trying to decoy Terrone and ended up losing the puck. He gets it back in the high slot. Backhands it to McKenzie. Left goal line extended. Chanter shoves him out of the way. Goes behind the net. Hennessy. Up top, Wallman. Wallman to the center point. Threw it in front. Redirected to the left side by Josh Wilkins. Pino backhands it to Wilkins behind the net. Tries to wrap around to the short side. Kicks it into the corner. Chases after it. Takes a hit from Wise on the near boards. Friars still control. Monk at the right point. But he missed on a bid to keep it in, and Hill almost had a chance for a rush. Before recovering in time was Monk. Down to 3:20 left in this rapidly moving second period. Cats, Hill just sent it in from in front of his own bench. Easily played on the tester by Hayden Hockey. 1-0 Friars, 3:05 left here in the second period. It's Wilkins coming in. He's got Hennessy with him from the right side. Looking to backhand it out in front. Hennessy standing on the doorstep. The puck was out of my sight for a moment, but Terrone sealed off, worked it to Marks on the near side defense, and it comes all the way to the Providence zone.
I can just sense Providence really has the confidence right now in taking over, and the Wildcats have to be careful here under 3 minutes to play in this period.
Kavanaugh works it behind the Wildcat net, goes to the far left side, McPhee. McPhee wraps around near side. Here's a chip shot that goes just wide by Kavanaugh on the back door. After the wraparound from the right, Kavanaugh came sneaking in from the left, but he put it wide.
Yeah, I don't know how he missed it.
Yeah, Grasso chasing in as he nearly got between the puck and the netminder, Hockey, but Hockey clears it to the far boards. Dawson keeps in. He throws in a wrist shot that got redirected to the near corner. Cleveland tries a shot from the left boards, and that one will be held by Hockey. We finally have a break. 2:16 left in the second. 1-0 Providence. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield.
How many players have played NHL from the UNH?
In the question, how many players from the UNH has played in the NHL? A, 28, B, 36, C, 31, or D, 38?
And the answer is 46.
There we go, 46 Wildcats in the NHL.
2:05 left in the second period. Mike Murphy, Pete Webster at the Whittemore Center. 1-0 Providence. Wildcats at center ice with Michael McNicholas. Works a pass to Salvaggio, gains the line, then throws a shot on net. Easily steered aside by Hockey. McNicholas in a battle behind the net with McKenzie. The Friars, though, able to play it. Wise keeps in left point, though. Salvaggio against the boards. Doing his best in the forward check to keep in the zone. Finally brought out by Brian Lemos. Lemos skates to center, broken up at the Wildcat line. McNicholas lead past Kelleher. Kelleher moves in right side, forehand shot. Hockey the save, and we'll get a face-off with 1:32 as there's no rebound.
A little bit of space there for Kelleher, but he was going one-on-one with the defenseman Kyle McKenzie. Even though Tyler snapped off a shot, you heard the sticks clang together. Providence, just like Notre Dame, doing a good job of getting the sticks in every passing lane. Every time you go to pass it, shoot it, there's a stick in the way. That's really had an effect on the Wildcats here.
Vela wins the faceoff, though. It's Cleveland left point, throws it through traffic, tipped by Hill, and it goes wide. Foley from the far dasher will flip it to center, goes by Marks, and into the zone comes Wilkins left wing. Wilkins cut off by Cleveland along the end boards, maintains possession, plays it in deeper for Pinot. Pinot on the cycle, plays it to McKenzie left point. Pass to Young right point. He throws one in, blocked down by Vela. It's out in front for Pinot, and his bid steered aside by Terrone. Dawson make it Nazarian goes to the far wall along with Marks. A minute left here in the second period, and it's squirted out to center ice. The only difference in this game, a Providence goal scored with under 1 second to play in the first period. It's 1-0. Tate coming out of his own end. Tate gains the Wildcat line right wing. Tate skates behind the net, goes around Chanter, but Wise takes him out with a check. Chanter can't break it free from Scott Conway. Conway along the right boards. Conway curls towards the middle, cross away. One-timer Monk, that one sailed high. The ricochet works to the right faceoff circle. Chanter got there first, and he's able to send it out. Wallman retreats to his own end. Long headman feed connects on the far left side to Casper Bjorkquist. Bjorkquist hits it off the kick plate. The rebound comes to Conway, right circle, 15 seconds remaining in the period. Monk a slapper from the right point. That got tipped wide. Grasso along the far boards comes out of the zone, less than 10 seconds to play in the period. Wise got stood up at the line. Friars control. Coming into the Wildcat end is Conway right side. Conway to the circle, turns, and he can't get a shot off as time expires. 2 periods in the books, and the 19th ranked Providence College Friars holding on to the same lead they had at the end of one. It's Providence 1 and New Hampshire 0. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield.
Second period, Johnson of goal. It was Providence College with 11, a 2-period total of 23. And your Wildcats with a total of 8, and a 2-period total of 16. The score after 2 periods of play is Providence College 1, your Wildcats 0. Fans, it's now time for the Hit the Post Challenge. For this competition, Mitch Hayes will get 3 chances to try to hit either of the signposts or the crossbar. If successful in doing so, Mitch will win, or he'll win the Post Challenge. Okay, so, we're getting set up right now. Bringing Mitch out here just inside the blue line. Any one of those 3 posts, that's easy, right, Mitch? When you're ready, go ahead and fire your first putt. Oh, it goes wide. That one is wide, 1 shot. And it's a goal, but it doesn't hit on balls. So let's have a big round of applause for Mitch, our Hit the Post challenger. Nice try, Mitch. We thank you for participating in today's Hit the Post challenge.
Today's Wildcats in the Community Update presented by Kennywood Savings. On Monday, January 16th, the men's and women's ice hockey team hosted their annual Skate with the Cats event at Whitmore Center Arena. Over 200 kids and community members enjoyed skating with their favorite UNH hockey student athletes. The athletes also signed autographs and played skating games with kids on the ice. This Wildcats in the Community Update has been presented by Kennywood Savings. Now, on locations in Seacoast, New Hampshire.
Now it's time to take a look at scores across Hockey East. This Plymouth Rock Insurance Hockey East scoreboard update is brought to you by your local cross insurance agency. 14 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. It's Lowell leading Northeastern by a score of 2-1. Just underway in the 2nd period, we have Vermont and Yukon deadlocked at 0. 13 minutes, 1st period. It's Maine 1, UMass 0. And finally, with 12 minutes remaining in the 1st period, it's Merrimack College 1, Boston University 0. Those are your out-of-town scores from the Plymouth Rock Insurance Hockey East scoreboard update, which is brought to you by your local cross insurance agency. Check them out on the web at crossagency.com to learn more about the Plymouth Rock Insurance products. Time to fill up on fun with Irving Oil. Going on to Kelsey, where we will have our Irving Oil Pass the Pump Contest. Kelsey.
Thanks, John.
them out of the Service Credit Union t-shirt. David, sign up today with Service Credit Union for your free UNH Wildcat debit card. Service Credit Union, the official debit card of the UNH Wildcats. Students get wild with the camera. It's time for the Direct Capital Catback Cam.
Yep. Trailing Providence 1-0 after 2. For the third period, the Wildcats will be going to our right. The Cat Pack will be harassing, cleanly of course, Hayden Hockey, and get the wit going here. First home game since the semester restarted for these students who haven't had a chance to see their Wildcats in a while, looking for them to come from behind tonight, trailing 1-0. Van Riemsdyk line is out with Grasso and Blackburn to start the third period. The defensemen Cleland and Marks. Matias carries the center. Looking for Van Riemsdyk at the line. The Cats are in too soon. And an offside penalty, offside call rather, just 22 seconds into the third.
Providence has done a nice job of standing up the Wildcats at the blue line. They're not giving away that area of the ice, so those tight little passes in there have been difficult for the Wildcats to maneuver cleanly into the zone. A little slap of a stick on the UNH stick, and that disrupted the flow of the puck getting over the blue line.
Well, Providence coaching staff has some advantages, don't they? Scott Borick, former Wildcat, long-time assistant coach. Jim Tortorella, now a volunteer coach. He was a Wildcat coach a few years ago. He's only 5 seats down from us in the press box tonight. Conway enters the zone left wing side. A forehand bid goes wide out the far side. Now a sharp angle shot from Monk from the boards, and Terrone a kick save. Monk has the only goal so far. Bjorkquist tried to throw one in from the left side. That goes behind the net. Now on the right boards, it's Monk. Plays it in deep. The carom ends up on Mark's stick, bottom of the circle of the defensive zone. Takes a hit from Tate. Cleland gets to it, works it to Salvaggio, uses the far dasher to lead McNicholas. McNicholas into the zone, left wing side. Forehand bid, glove save, and Hockey will hold it.
See, that's great defense right there by Jake Wallman. Is Wildcats trying to take it out wide, and you just can't get around these good, speedy, agile defensemen. So all you do is you get maneuvered over towards the wall and throw it in on goal. That's easy pickings there for Hayden Hockey.
Lemos Nazarian face-off to the right of Hockey, and the Friars win it, and they send it down the ice. Puck on its edge goes behind the net. Friars get there first, so there's no icing. Good hustle by Sakumarin. Plays it out in front of the crease, and Terrone just does cover it up. His glove is perilously close to the goal line as he covered that one up.
Yeah, he had his skate right on the post there, but yeah, that's just too close. But wow, great hustle down the ice by Sakumarin. Is that him there? Yeah, with all that speed getting down there. Freshman out of Montreal, Quebec.
Face off in the left circle, goes off the back wall behind Terrone. Works it to Wise. Wise lead pass to Nazarian. Nazarian lifts it into the Friar end, but there's McKenzie to play it off the far dasher. Wise in his own end to Chanter near side. Diagonal to Hill. Hill puts it on net from center ice, easily held by Hockey, and he'll decide a face-off will just do fine with 18:26 remaining in the third period. 1-0 Friars.
Yeah, the Wildcats need to convert something on one of these face-offs here in the Providence end. Oh, looking for that goal that's going to break him through. Now over 140 minutes without a goal.
Nazarian and Hennessy face off to the right of Hockey. A delay here as the linesman talks to both players. Nazarian wins the draw. Back to Wise. Right point Chanter throws it through. Nazarian the rebound. Backhand on net. Save made. Hockey clears it wide. We're going to have a penalty, though, coming up against the Friars. And UNH will go on a Unitil power play. 1:43 into the third period.
Yeah, that's diminutive Jamie Hill going against the giant Terrone, who goes 6'6". Jamie Hill, all of 5'9", giving up about 9 inches there. And, well, Jamie wanted more of the puck there, and Desharnais didn't want to let him get through the crease there to go fetch it.
Third Unitil power play. Unitil energy for life. Face off to the left of Hockey. Friars win it and send it down. Terrone veers far out of his crease to the left, looking for Cleland, who can't handle the pass. Pinot takes it away. Pinot spins towards the middle. Forehand bid. That one sailed high. Looking for a shorthand goal. Wildcats able to control, though, as the Friars back up to center. McNicholas wraps it in from the left wing side. McKenzie on it first for Providence. He'll back it up the wall for Tate. Tate will flip it to center, and that does what it needs, makes the Wildcats back up. McNicholas breaks out from the right side. Minute 20 remaining on the power play. It's Kelleher to Grasso. Grasso across right side. Tries to go to the left wing. McNicholas plays it up the wall to Kelleher, left point. Kelleher skates down to the hash mark. Works it down low. Grasso. Back to Kelleher. Goal line extended left. Grasso left face-off circle. Couldn't handle it cleanly, so has to regroup at the hash marks. Kelleher, left corner. Works around Bryson. Tries to work out in front. Gets shoved back, though. It's Grasso left corner. They'll try Cleland at the point. Cleland holds in, works it to McNicholas, right wing. McNicholas throws it in. Pad save made off the left leg of Hockey. And the Friars will clear it down the length of the ice.
I like that little exchange on the far side by Grasso and Kelleher. They maneuvered it so that they were able to get Kelleher free for a split second down low.
It's Kelleher at neutral ice going across the way for McNicholas. Bouncing puck into the corner. McNicholas and Monk converge at the same time. Grasso chops at it. 20 seconds remaining on this Wildcat power play. Providence content to just leave the puck along the far boards and let time elapse. No one has been able to peel it off the wall yet. We're down to about 10 seconds left on the Desharnais penalty. Fans getting a little frustrated. McNicholas finally able to get to Kelleher. Kelleher to Cleland. One-timer, and it's blocked on the near side. Cleland gets it back in the high slot. Good block by McPhee, and then Cleland's flip-in got tipped out of play. 16:15 to go here in the third. 1-0 Providence. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield.
We're here.
Aaron Nazarian comes into the Providence zone. He winds up and takes a slap shot that got tipped out of play. We apologize that we lost our signal for a few moments, so let's regroup. 15:47 left in the third period. It stays Providence 1, UNH nothing. Pete, while we were away from our radio audience, the Wildcats had a power play but didn't do too much with it.
Yeah, they managed to get a couple of harmless bids off on Hayden Hockey, but Wildcats still looking for that golden one that they can get it by the Providence netminder and tie this game up.
All right, they have a face-off in the Friar zone, left wing side. Sheffield works it up to Miller. Miller trying to break out in front. McKenzie sandwich him along with Young. So instead it comes to the near side boards. Duhaime will get there and center it. Comes to the Wildcat line, and Suka Moran tipped it out of play. Now we'll take a break. 15:28 left in the third. 1-0 Providence. This is Wildcat hockey from Learfield.
Tonight's 50-50 winning number is 525081. Once again, that's 525081. If you are holding that ticket,
What
Is that
happened?
break two then? What are we? Okay.
What happened there with that gap there? No?
Yeah, the thing came out.
The cord came out of the Comrex?
It must have, yeah.
Okay. We got a bump.
So that's break two, right, Aaron? Thank you. You said we were gone, so. Coming out of his own zone is Wallman. Wallman crosses the red line and backhands into the Wildcat end. Marks get to it behind the net. Works to Cleland far side. Sacco along the boards. Ahead for Sheffield. Sheffield trying to deal to Miller. Too far for him, and the Friars once again slow down the Cats just as they try to come into the zone. Providence does ice the puck, though. And with 15:01 left in the third, face-off coming up on the Friar end to our right.
Wentworth Douglas Hospital in Dover, New Hampshire is the Seacoast leading medical center and the official hospital of UNH Athletics. Learn more about their locations, services, and health centers by visiting www.wdhospital.com.
Mike Murphy, Pete Webster at the Whittemore Center. Aaron Boss producing at our flagship WGIR in Manchester. Off the face-off, Grasso tries a wrister. That sails high. Chancer keeps in right point. Behind the net, Blackburn. Blackburn looking to spin left side. Plays it to Wise, top of the circle. His shot, save made. Hockey, rebound, Conway. Conway can't clear. It's stolen back by Blackburn. Over to Chancer, right wing. Chancer goes diagonal with it. Grasso deflects, and it's up and out of play. Also want to welcome our crowd listening from XM Radio tonight, Peter. We are worldwide on XM Satellite Radio, channel 84. So welcome the college hockey game of the week. Providence 1, UNH nothing. 14:40 left here in the third period. Same two teams tomorrow night at the Whittemore Center. Shirt off your back night and the free I Believe in UNH winter palm hats available. UNHWildcats.com for tickets. Center ice, Foley for Providence. From our right to our left, Foley gains the line left wing, looking to center it for Pino. Pino is ridden behind the goal line by Cleland. And the puck is taken away by Kelleher, who leaves it for Marks. Marks skates in front of his own crease before backhanding to the far wall. Pino got there before Cleland and played it in deep to Wilkins. Wilkins moves it up the wall, looking for Foley. Salvaggio over there along with Cleland. The captain, Matthias Cleland, does work. Gets it to center ice, Salvaggio. And the Cats chip it to the Friar end. From his own blue line, Wilkins near the Friar bench. He skates into the Wildcat zone. Can't get past Marks. Marks will work it circle to Salvaggio, far side. Jason Long feed McNicholas. One touch pass Kelleher. Kelleher at center. Skates by Wilkins. Comes into the zone, but they say the Wildcats are offside as McNicholas had trickled in a tad too soon.
Well, Tyler Kelleher got a little bit of space and some steam going over the center ice red line. And then all of a sudden he was in the middle of a 4 Providence player box. And he just had to do a little extra stick handle, and that put the timing off by McNicholas.
Face off outside the Providence line. Nazarian gets to it, trying to wind up a slapper, but it's blocked. Here's a slap shot from Nonis. That one rode high as it couldn't get through. Bouncing puck right in front. Vela chops at it, but Hockey comes out of the crease to glove it down and earn a face-off. Couple of sharp shots in the point, but there's so much congestion, Pete, the Cats can't break through.
Yeah, it's and if it does, it's going to be an ugly goal that comes from all this beating and bumping and hacking down low, because nothing really is getting clean through the Providence defense in on Hayden Hockey, the goaltender.
Lemos and Nazarian face-off, won by the Friars, but they flip it out of the zone, and another face-off here. 6:30 into the third period. A lot of face-offs on the Providence end, so that bodes well here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, well, all those things, though, can go the Wildcats' way, but they got to get it into the back of the net.
Again, it's Nazarian and Lemos to the right of Hockey. Suka Moran will step in instead to take the draw. Puck still hasn't been dropped. Long pause here as everyone jockeys for position. Puck dropped, loose in the left faceoff circle, goes to the boards. Jamie Hill gets there, works it to the point. Wise plays it behind the net. Nazarian looking at backhand for Vela out in front. Couldn't make the connection. Lemos clears it to center. Suka Moran dumps it along the right wing boards into the corner. Duhaime plays it in deeper with Suka Moran. Near side Nazarian for the Wildcats. He gets taken down by Lemos. Puck along the half board. Suka Moran, Lemos, Nazarian all over there. Vela is the one who comes away with it. Marcus Vela center ice. Comes across right side. Wrist shot. Tried to go upstairs. And there to snare it with that left glove hand is Hayden Hockey.
Yeah, that line has done okay tonight. Not generated the greatest of opportunities, but good to see Vela and Nazarian look like they're almost back to full health. If not, they are. And Jamie Hill stepping up for Shane Eiserman, who is now out with a knee injury. So that line, a little snake bit here throughout the whole season.
Face off in the Providence end yet again. Van Riemsdyk and Grasso in the corner. Puck went high and just did get far enough above the glass to glance into the netting. So we'll do it again with a face-off. 12:49 after a very rapidly moving first 2 periods. A number of whistles here in period number 3. The only goal of the game remains Josh Monk's with less than 1 second left in the first period. Grasso off a face-off. Quick wrister. That goes wide off the far post. Nonis keeps in left point. Down to Grasso, goal line extended left. He's got Blackburn over with him, trying to come out with it. Blackburn moved it up the wall, but that's where it's intercepted by Shane Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh goes right by Nonis. Van Riemsdyk, though, stays with him on the back check. Cavanaugh continues to control. Plays it back to Desharnais. Desharnais moves it in front. Bouncing puck in the crease. Comes out to the left side. A whirling forehander thrown in there, and not a bad-looking shot at all by McPhee. But traffic deflects it to the far corner. That's where Van Riemsdyk gets after it and chips it to center. Providence holds at their own line. Dyson with the diagonal pass. Backhanded farther by Cavanaugh. And Bjorkquist gets to it left wing corner. He's being tracked by Matt Dawson. Dawson does a good job with the check, so it's Blackburn to Cleveland. Cleveland tried to return to Blackburn, but he had skated away from that position. So Conway controls, moves it back to Bryson, left point for Providence. Here's a pass toward the circle looking for Tate, broken up. Grasso the steal, goes rink wide to Salvaggio. Jason Salvaggio enters left side. His forehander goes into the near corner right. Bjorkquist gets to it for Providence along the near boards, and he'll skate it out of the zone and backhand it to the Wildcat end. Marks skates behind his netminder Terrone with 11.5 minutes remaining in regulation. 1-0 Friars. Kelleher between the circles now goes outside of his own zone to center ice. Pass left Salvaggio. He'll flip it softly to the corner. Kelleher gives chase, and Kelleher got flattened by the spinning right arm of the defenseman Wallman. Now 3 players go down to the far corner, 2 of them Wildcats, and this frees up Providence in transition. Foley enters the zone left wing. He skates by Marks. He skates in front. Backhander bid. He missed the top right corner. What an individual move by Eric Foley. But the Cats look to come out the other way. McNicholas with Salvaggio. Salvaggio forehander blocked. Bounces just to the right of Hockey into the corner. And Wilkins will get there and push it out of the zone. Slot back in by Wise, allowing the Wildcats to go for a change.
Yeah, that was a nice move by Foley. His shot went wide, though, and here comes Salvaggio with a whole head of speed up the other way. And just, again, the Wildcats just can't find the space and get that good grade A bid off.
Chanter tries to throw when it got deflected by Hill, hit the near post. It's loose in the slot. Backhand bid by Nazarian. That got blocked down. It goes in the corner. Oh, a couple of exciting plays here near the Providence net. And a penalty's coming up with 10:20 left in the third period. What's this call, Peter?
Spencer Young, the defenseman, is going to get 2 minutes for cross-checking. Very dangerous, dangerously close to boarding, which could have been a 5, but it's going to definitely be a cross-checking. Aaron Nazarian was the one that got pasted against the wall. He's all right. So big opportunity here for UNH.
Time of the call, 9:40 of the third. Unitil power play, Unitil energy for life. And believe you me, 1 goal will bring energy to the Whittemore Center. As a Cat Pack is jam-packed to our right. Looking to get that equalizer here in a 1-0 game against the number 19 team in the country. Cats win the draw. Kelleher left point. Cleland center point. Right side McNicholas. Back to Cleland. Left side it's Kelleher in the circle. Cross away McNicholas. One-timer save made on the near post by Hockey. Backhanded to the near side out of the zone by Desharnais.
Yeah, it's a good setup for McNicholas, but the pass is just a little too hot for him to get the great leverage.
Here's Cleland walking in for the mid-slot. His shot got knocked down. Grasso looking for a rebound is taken down. And the Friars clear it out from the far side as Kavanaugh sends it down.
The Wildcats wanted to get the excitement going in the crease area. Cleland's bid got bouncing around in there, but it was cleared away.
Kelleher using the near wall to work it to Grasso. Grasso in the zone, deep in the corner. McKenzie there. It's Monk trying to wrap it around. McNicholas stops it at the goal line, extended left. Works it to the point. Cleland. He'll drop past Kelleher left wing. Kelleher to the circle. Across McNicholas. One-timer. That's another save by Hockey. No rebound. It goes out to the far end. A minute remaining on the power play. Here comes Grasso moving in from the left side. Tries to go across with it. Sliding block made by Tate. It's redirected to the far left wall. Kelleher skates around a check from McKenzie. Out to Cleland at the left point. Holds, works to Kelleher, left hash mark. Crossing past McNicholas. Holds, goes back to Kelleher and couldn't handle the pass clean. So Tyler just skates away from Monk. Tyler skates to the face-off dot left. Across to Salvaggio, and the slot, his shot goes just wide off the far post. A forehand bid and a good one. Grasso left wing, curls to the middle. Cleland moving in right circle, his shot aiming for the far post. That's wide. Still 25 seconds left on what has been a very productive power play. Kelleher skates it, drops it down low. Grasso shot from down low left, save Hockey, and a face-off coming.
Oh, a lot of great setups there in the slot area. I felt like I was a kid playing bubble hockey again. Centering pass, shot, score. But the Wildcats can't get it by Hayden Hockey. A few great bids going wide. But that's the best power play that we've seen the Wildcats have here tonight. That first unit was out for 1 minute and 43 seconds.
All right, off the faceoff, Wise holds in left point, works it near side, Marks. He'll drop it down low, Nazarian. Diagonal feed back to the point, Wise. And now it's stolen away in the far circle by Kavanaugh. And the Friars come out. Into the zone is Pinot, shorthanded. Pinot will hold it for the rest of the power play time. Skates it to center. Vela steals it away. Vela comes in. We're back to 5-on-5. Leaves to Hill on the wing. Hill skates behind the net, looking in front. But that's where it's intercepted and then sent out by Spencer Young. 8 minutes to go. Third period, 1-0 Providence. Wise enters the Friars zone left wing. Into the corner. Chase down there. Battle for it. No one comes out clean. Desharnais wraps up Wise. It's in the left circle. Nazarian, though, gets pushed out of the way. And this allows Wilkins to come out in transition right wing. Wilkins gains the line. Forehand bid wide. Rebound along the left boards. Bryson drops it down to Conway. Conway ran into Vela, lost the puck. Van Riemsdyk pass to Nazarian right wing. Nazarian skating into the Friar zone, but Bryson gets there first. There's a loose stick on the far end. Able to get by it was Monk, and he plays it to center ice. Chanter at his own blue line turns it over to Foley. Foley skating in from the left wing. He's out in front. Dawson cuts him off. Foley ends up in the net, which comes off its pegs. 7:18 left in the third. It's Providence 1, UNH nothing. Stay with us. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey from Learfield. Three. Maybe a save. I mean, the goal could be a play of the game. All right, face off to the left of Terrone here. The Wildcats trailing 1-0, 7:15 left. Van Riemsdyk on the far boards, plays it out of the zone before getting a check right into the Wildcat end as he was hit from Brandon Duhaime. Puck goes back to the Wildcat side, but it's Blackburn, the lead pass to Van Riemsdyk, whose brothers will be signing autographs tomorrow. He flips it to the near corner. Grasso tries to get there. McKenzie too soon. Van Riemsdyk along the left half wall, loses it. Lemos skating on the right side of his defensive zone, now to the near side. Grasso hounds him, but it's out to center ice. Duhaime near his own bench, lost to Blackburn. Blackburn comes across, but he ran into two Friars. Duhaime will send a bouncing puck in that nearly skipped over Terrone's glove hand, and we'll get a timeout. 6:36 remaining in the third. It's Providence holding on to a 1-0 lead over the Wildcats. This is Wildcat Hockey from Learfield.
All right, we still got 6:36 left.
Yep, it's all us. Give you some scores or reads, whatever you want.
The New Hampshire School Administrators Association is proud to support the UNH Wildcats. Visit their website, www.edjobsnh.com, to find the largest web-based vacancy service for all educational employment opportunities in New Hampshire. Visit www.edjobsnh.com today.
Mike Murphy, Pete Webster inside the Whittemore Center in Durham, where the Wildcats trail Providence 1-0. Aaron Boss producing. And our flagship, WGIR in Manchester. One of the big things that the news of the week, Pete, is for now on for UNH students, they can download their tickets directly to their phone. As students, they have access to every single game. So download it, bring your phone. No longer have to pick up a paper ticket. It's a digital world, Peter.
It is.
All right, face out to the right of Terrone. Won by the Friars. Initial shot from Kavanaugh's block. Comes back to Bryson. He throws one through traffic. That's blocked down. Hennessy goes behind the net. Tries to wrap around to the right side. Chopping at it is Kavanaugh. It's in the crease. There's a penalty coming up against the Wildcats with 6:21 left.
Yeah, on the wraparound attempt, there was a hooking going on there, and Wildcats are going to get called for it. So this is going to put the Wildcats back on their heels here on the shorthand. None of the players know who it is, but it's Anthony Wise, and he's like, what did I really do? And I really don't see too much of it in the replay there.
Looked like maybe right at the end, a trip. As we see the great
Oh,
HD
yeah, he got his
replay.
stick underneath the leg of the player. So
the Wildcats in the shorthand for the third time. We've had 6 power plays previously, no power play goals thus far. We've only had 1 goal, period. Now it's Josh Monk at 19:59 of the first.
all right, they're calling McNicholas into the box. They're taking Wise out. McNicholas was the one that was actually doing the defending. I didn't think it was a penalty on him. I think it was more on Wise's stick right at the very end of the play. Okay.
Well, at least there's only one man called for it. Wildcats in the shorthand, face off to Terrone's right. Comes out to the boards. Cleveland plays behind the net, but it's stolen away by Scott Conway. Tried to backhand in front of the net, redirected to the near wall. Vela has it, whirls, fires it down the ice.
All right, I think they gave McNicholas for holding.
So McNicholas watching for another minute 40. 6 minutes and counting here in the third period. Friars trying to add to the 1-goal lead. They set up in the Wildcat zone from the right side, trying to put a shot in as Foley. That was blocked by Cleveland. Comes to Monk in the high slot. Monk now left circle, cross ice pass. Salvaggio got a stick on it. Conway regroups along the right half boards to Pino. Drops it back to Wallman. Oh, he winds up and drills a slap shot that Terrone is able to manage.
Yeah, there's Jake Wallman, fine junior out of Toronto, Ontario, trying to add to his 18 career goals and make this a 2-goal game, but Danny Terrone just keeps it right in the belly. Yeah, this is very, very critical here in this game. Cats obviously don't want to go down by 2 goals this late, and Providence wants to start to seal the deal.
Friars win the faceoff. It's Bryson left side in front of a redirect by Lemos, just goes wide. Lemos was in the low slot, but he couldn't put it on net, and the Cats able to send it out.
Yeah, that was an intended pass and not a shot from the left point.
Working up ice now is Bryson. His pass glances off Lemos' skate, so it's slowed down at center ice. This gives Wise a chance to get to it and slap it down. 50 seconds left on the McNicholas penalty. Bryson works it up ice to Wilkins. Wilkins to Duhaime left side. He moves in towards the net. Shot and a save by Terrone on that forehand bid from Brandon Duhaime. Puck in the right wing corner. Duhaime on it. Works it to the circle. Stolen there by Liam Blackburn. Blackburn holds for an instant and then lifts it out and deep.
Yeah, just no opportunity to try a breakout on the shorthand there. So he held it long enough to then just scale it down the ice.
Cats have to kill off 20 more seconds of Providence power play time, but Wallman comes in. His cross-ice pass broken up by Grasso, and it comes out of the zone. Still 15 seconds. Chance for the Friars, one last rush. Cleveland chipped it out of the zone. Then it's played right back in by Foley, but there's Marks. And Marks can skate it out. Long headman pass finds Van Riemsdyk. Left side, Van Riemsdyk trying to skate in front. He got slowed down by Wallman, ended up in the net. The penalty on McNicholas is over. Cats kill it off. We're back to 5-on-5. Here coming out of the box was Nazarian. His stick broke on a shot attempt from the high slot. Instead, the other way, Foley to Pino. His drive, save made Terrone, and Terrone gets run into the net, which goes flying off its pegs with 4:08 to play in the third. Still 1-0 Providence College.
Wow, Aaron Nazarian, after he just came on the ice, so he was the last guy coming down the slot on the offensive thrust, and he went for the shot, bent his knee down, and his stick snapped, and then he was forced into a tracking back at full speed to thwart an odd man rush, and he and Foley got tangled up. Boy, that was great hustle by Nazarian. Just unfortunate. It looked like he was going to have a screaming bid there, and snapping in half. That was the stick. Oh.
But it's such a scrappy play, though, by Nazarian to make sure he came back and even without a stick. And that scrappy play brought to you by Direct Capital, a division of CIT Bank where being scrappy is a core principle. Direct Capital making small business lending remarkable and a proud employer of UNH alumni. Learn more at directcapital.com/UNH.
There's been a lot of scrappy plays here tonight as the Wildcats and Providence have really just duked this out. 1 goal on the board. It's like a 1-0 shutout in baseball. Can be very, very entertaining. The Wildcats have really brought it forward here in the third period. At one point, they had a 9-1 shot differential. Providence picked up about 4 in their power play to draw it to 9-5 here in the third period.
All right, here we go. Face off to Terrone's right. It's won by the Friars, who lead 1-0. A shot thrown into the fray by Duhaime. That's broken up by the Wildcats, and they get the puck out to center. Friars regroup. It's Hennessy moving in left side. His forehand bid goes wide. Slams off the end boards to the far right wall. That's where it's controlled by UNH. Cleveland looking to break it out to Vela. Hits off the dasher. It was deflected, so no icing as it comes all the way down. Desharnais. A drop pass to McKenzie. McKenzie will lead it out to McPhee in front of his own bench. He crosses it. Vela, the intercept of the Wildcat line, down to 3:30 to go in regulation. Cats desperately in need of a goal, trying to avoid being shut out for the second straight game after going more than 2 years without being shut out. Anthony Wise from behind his own net leads it for McNicholas. In front of the Wildcat bench, Salvaggio plays it deeper in his own zone, making Wise go get it to the goal line extended to Terrone's left.
Yeah, center zone trap by Providence has been very effective here tonight.
Keller skating along the near wall. Kelleher enters the zone, hits the brakes at the half boards, works it to McNicholas. McNicholas looking to return across the way. Instead, it comes all the way to Chanter. Pass to Kelleher, left of the circle, skating around Bryson's check. Salvaggio's behind the net. Kelleher controls still left wing corner. Looking for someone to break it out to, but it's chipped off his stick to center ice Tate. Here comes Tate, right side. He's got Lemos to his left. Tate a shot and a score! From the right circle, Ryan Tate, a snapper, beats Terrone, and the Friars increase their lead to 2-0, 2:42 left to play.
And the Wildcats looking to get some offensive time. Kelleher with a puck on his stick in the far corner. Chanders tried to sneak in from the left point to create a passing lane. And just at that point, Tyler had the puck knocked off his stick, and that created a 2-on-1 situation. No pass needed as Ryan Tate buries his 4th goal of the year. Providence sends a lot of the fans back out to their cars heading home. 2-goal lead, 2-0 Providence with 2:42 left.
Tate skating from that right wing, able to beat Terrone's stick side, which is that near far post. And so the Wildcats down 2:35 to play. Terrone slows it down off the face-off behind his net. Cleveland, Van Riemsdyk on the far boards. Jumping in front of him, though, to knock it away was McPhee. Behind the net, Marks leaves it for Cleveland. The captain will skate out from the left side. Long breakout pass. Van Riemsdyk can't handle it. Does deflect into the Friar zone. Foley on the near side. Hayden Hockey, by the way, in his 30th game, he's played them all, looking for his 3rd shutout. Wildcat net is empty. Wilkins tries a bid from the left wall. It hit off the near post, so an extra attacker, empty net for the Wildcats. 2:05 to play. Nazarian comes into the Providence zone. Nazarian tries to shovel it for Grasso. Blocked initially by Desharnais. Goes behind the net. Blackburn controls goal line. Blackburn plays it on net. Save made by Hockey to the right side. Nazarian leaves it for Wise. Near point, Cleveland. Cleveland tries to throw it through in the left corner. Nazarian chips it behind the wall. Grasso going after it. Hennessy's there. Monk is there. Wide open net in the Wildcat side with a 6-5 advantage in the offensive zone. Can they break through? Left point, Wise. Near side, Cleveland. He holds, works to the center point, now continues to skate to the left side. This pass tipped, blocked initially by McPhee. McPhee still battles on the wall. Monk joins as well. Van Riemsdyk checks him out of the way, and it's lifted high in the air and pitchforked to the Wildcat side of the rink.
That's a lot of time with a 6-on-5.
Cats handle on their side. Marks to Kelleher at center ice. Down to 1:05 to play. 2-0 Friars. Kelleher to Vela onside. Vela return pass. Kelleher from the right circle. Shot saved. Tried to go 5-hole. Rebound left side. Vela out to Marks at the right point. Marks, wrister. That got tipped by McNicholas wide off the far post. It's loose in the far corner. Kelleher to it. He backhands across. McNicholas shot saved. Rebound Vela. Works it to Marks right point. Across the way Wise. Back to Marks. Center point. Right circle McNicholas right at the edge. Plays it in front. Backhand. Vela bid wide. Kelleher the rebound. Here's a one-timer from the left circle. That one sent by Wise. Tipped wide. McNicholas. Right hash mark. Here's Marks a drive. That got knocked down by McKenzie. Kept in by Wise. Out to the center ice zone now. Tate tips it high in the air at the red line. Tate fires one towards the empty net, and he scores his 2nd goal of the 3rd period. Ryan Tate, the empty netter, with 21 seconds left, gives the Friars a 3-0 lead.
Looks like the Wildcats are going to go down 2nd game in a row by a score of 3-0. Great battle there as they had Danny Terrone pulled for the better part of 2 minutes. It just wasn't to be here tonight. The Wildcats all over the place with good touches, good shots. Providence just doing a great job to get in the way of everything.
Well, if the Wildcats don't score, this will end a strange trend. The last 8 games between these two teams, one of the two teams has scored 1 goal.
Yeah.
Right now it's 3-0 though. Final 10 seconds. Nick Nonis, cross-ice pass intended for Sheffield, stolen by Duhaime. Providence, for some reason, tries to enter the zone with 2 seconds left, and they're offside, so we'll have one more face-off. But we'll reset it during the Bud Light postgame, what this means in terms of conference standings. Friars came in 8th place. Wildcats were just 1 point out of 4th. But things will turn around here for the Friars as they skate to a 3-0 victory over the Wildcats here at the Whittemore Center. For Providence, they up their record to 13 wins, 8 losses, 4 ties. Now 5-6-2 in the Hockey East Association. For the Wildcats of New Hampshire, now 11-10-4. 6-4-3 in Hockey East. When we come back, we'll have our Bud Light postgame show. Bud Light, a proud partner of UNH Hockey, reminding fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey from Learfield.